I'm so over the moon excited to introduce to you Dawn DelVecchio. She is the founder and facilitating priestess for the Return of the Priestess Speaker Series and Summit. This is her third year facilitating and bringing this beautiful, beautiful awakening of the divine feminine to the world. Dawn has also been studying the goddess lore, facilitating ceremony, offering intuitive guidance, spiritual counsel, tarot, and astrology readings for 36 years. She's the author of the Amazon #1 best-selling book, Spirit, Mind, and Money. She holds a bachelor's degree in women's studies and a master's degree in shamanic intuitional practices. So good to have you here, Dawn.
Hi, Schamet. Thank you so much for having me and inviting me on your podcast and your YouTube channel. It's good to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It feels so good to support another soul sister in her work that she's doing, because, most of you know that I did the Awaken the Goddess Within Summit last year, and it was so much work. And so Dawn at the moment is in the thick of it. And so,
Yes.
Dawn, thank you for doing such amazing work on the planet.
Mhm.
And my first question for you is, it's the name of the summit this year is the Earth is New Earth Rising.
Yeah.
So, what is the difference? And this is a question I really want to know for myself: is what is the difference between New Earth Rising and the new paradigm?
Great question. So just to clarify, the summit is always called, this is its third year, it's called Return of the Priestess, and I interview usually about 30 women who are serving as sacred feminine leaders in one way or another in the world. Not all of them identify as priestesses, but most of them do. We have wise women elders, we have indigenous elders, and literally 6 of the 7 continents are represented because there are sacred feminine leaders literally all over the planet. We also donate 50% to a vetted charitable cause of any. Now, the summit is free, but then people sometimes buy it, and 50% of that goes to a charitable cause that's led by and for women in some way. So to your question, this year I was called very deeply to give the subtitle or the subject line, the focalizing intention of the summit to be New Earth Rising. And that came about because we have had 2 years on this planet of literally an attempted planetary takeover and systems collapse. And with that, many of us have spent a great deal of time looking at all kinds of aspects of that: political, social, cultural. The stress of it has been tremendous. People have lost their jobs, their businesses, uncertainty abounds, and fear is being pushed out like never before. I mean, fear has always been something that, the ego sort of thrives on, but now it's exponential. And the guidance I started getting about mid last year, and it just kept getting stronger, 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 and I see it in the field of many other light workers, starseeds, priestesses, is to stop looking at it, to pivot, and to begin to build the bridge to New Earth even as you are crossing it. That we are the powerful creators. We are the ones who came to build the New Earth, and it will not rise without our actual involvement in that. And so that's what I wanted to do, and that's why all the interviewees this year during Return of the Priestess were really looking at and bringing forward speakers who are literally in practical ways, spiritual ways, metaphysical ways, all kinds of ways, building the new earth or supporting the new earth rising. So I don't know that it's different than the new paradigm. I think, for me anyway, and people may use these terms differently, but when I tune into the new earth that I wish to see, it is one that is based in love, connection with your own divinity, connection with each other, connection with your inner truth, and the fear energetic and the strong ego that is driven by fear and control is very, very diminished to the point where ego is very much the servant to the master, which is the higher self. So if that is what new paradigm is, I would say that they're the same thing, different language, same thing.
Thank you. I've been wondering about that. I feel that they're the same, just
Yeah,
different words. Yeah.
different words. Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to have different kinds of language to speak to different kinds of people. So, all over this world, we know that there are starseeds, light workers, conscious beings who may not identify with this, uh, I would say, an archetypal, but also a literal walk in the world path of the priestess. So the priestess is a signature energetic that relates to the divine feminine energy that's embodied in how we live in the world and how we hold space for others, our service. But the service is intertwined with the embodiment of the divine feminine energies. Not that we're all divine, right? So we're all in different places in that attunement to that divinity, but those of us who identify as priestesses are very much connected to the feminine, that feminine ray. But make no mistake, all over this world, sisters and brothers alike are awakening to the desire for a new paradigm, for the commitment to creating new systems, new ways of being on the earth.
Yeah, absolutely. And so thank you for that. That was beautiful. I love your wise words. They really land and resonate so deeply. Definitely a soul sister, definitely connected. And so my question is for someone that hasn't been to your summit before and they are kind of interested and they might be on the fence a little bit, what can they receive by
Ah,
attending the summit?
yeah, great question. Thank you for that. So, first of all, the summit itself is free. It runs over 2 weeks from April 1st through 17th. We start with an opening ceremony that is live, optional to attend. It gets recorded and you have access, and we'll have a closing ceremony. Um, and every day we have three speakers, and you have the choice. They're pre-recorded, so you have the choice to watch any that resonate with you. It's let's face it, it's a lot to watch 32 speakers in the course of 2 weeks. So, but I have really been very careful in selecting such a broad diversity of speakers. And when I say diversity, I mean diversity of lineage, diversity of culture, diversity of ethnicity, diversity of what they are tasked, what their soul assignment is, what they're bringing forward or birthing into the world. That no matter where you are on your spiritual path or your intention to see a new paradigm, you're going to find someone here that resonates. Whether it is someone like you, Schamet, who is working very much with intuition and with psychic abilities and psychic cultivation, or those who are looking at how do we build new community, how do we create new systems of exchange, how do we attune more to Mother Earth, or those who maybe want to connect with wisdom elders of indigenous cultures. We have some of those speakers as well. You're going to find someone or some ones most likely that you'll get some guidance from an activation, because each speaker, almost every speaker, provides an activation, a channeled message, a meditation, some tool for you to walk away with. And almost all the speakers also offer free gifts. So you also can literally walk away with new information and guidance beyond the interview itself. So I'm trying, there's so much to say, so I hope I'm not talking too fast, but hopefully that
Yeah.
answers your question.
No, that's wonderful. And usually with these summits, there's a way to pay for the videos and all
Yes.
access pass kind of thing. Do you have that set up for the summit?
Absolutely. And I want to thank you for letting me talk about this because every year, what I do is I give away 50% of the net proceeds. And by net, I just mean I pull out the percentage I'm going to have to pay in taxes on it. Because in the US, you can no longer write off donations unless they're like $25,000 or something.
I
So
know. Sweden is the same. I discovered that when I ran my summit.
Yikes. So I look at the total gross revenue from people who purchase, and I keep the prices very low, and it's lifetime access. And then I figure out what the tax is going to be on that, and then whatever's left, I cut that in half and I give that away to a vetted charitable cause. So the last 2 years, we've given $8,000 to charitable causes. And this year, I would love to share with you a little, and we just confirmed it yesterday. We are going to be giving whatever monies we raise to an organization called the Institute for Africology. Now, I am not one of those people who wants to go to Africa and be a white savior. I have friends who've lived in Africa. It can be very rude. This was a serendipitous and very blessed, guided journey to meet this person, this person, this person. This organization is unbelievable. What they're doing is New Paradigm. It was the brainchild and birthed by a beautiful African woman from South Africa who really sees what needs to happen for African people to reclaim their value, their heritage, and to raise children to have self-worth, creativity, education, and sustainability agriculturally and financially. So I have no say in literally how that money is going to be spent. But after interviewing this woman, I was blown away by her potent vision, which just kind of circles back to what I said at the beginning, that all over the world we're visioning this, right? So we will be donating whatever 50% of whatever those proceeds are to the Institute for Africology. They have a YouTube channel. You can check them out. They're doing amazing stuff. And one of the bonus speakers on the summit will be this woman. So you'll get to find out from her. I interview her in a couple days. You'll get to hear from her exactly what they're doing, and I know that you will then also feel very excited about.
And what's her name?
Her name, it's an African name, but it's Mama Ya is how I can remember it now. But I will introduce her there on the summit.
Oh,
it's a Zulu name,
beautiful.
so she's
Oh,
yeah. So
beautiful.
yes, you can purchase it. You don't have to purchase it, however. You may decide that you want to check it out first, check out a few of the interviews and then purchase. Or you may decide you're going to wait and just watch Mama Ya's interview and then donate directly. So
Yeah.
there you
But
go.
you know what I say to everyone is just purchase the summit, because then you have time to watch everything. You know,
Yeah.
you get to take your time and really absorb the information. And it's a wonderful way of doing something good for the world. And, you know, I did the same thing. I donated 50% to Pachamama Alliance and Women's Refuge. And it feels so good
Oh, it
to be
does.
able to contribute to creating the new paradigm or creating the new earth. And at the same time, also get the benefit of listening to all these incredible divine feminine light leaders on the planet doing incredible work. So, again, thank you, Dawn, for doing such incredible work on the planet. And thanks for allowing me to interview you when you're so busy doing so many
Oh,
interviews
my
yourself.
pleasure. Yeah, thank you. My pleasure, really. I appreciate it. I want to get the word out too, because really, even if it is $8,000 for, depending on the country you're in, that may seem like, yeah, it's not, you don't sneeze at that amount, but really in the countries that we've donated to, which was Thailand the first year, um, uh, Trinidad the second year, and now South Africa, this is a huge amount of money and can go a long way and help a lot of people. So it's
Yeah.
my pleasure to be able to share that. Thank you for the platform to do that.
Oh, definitely. I feel it's so important. And, I want to put it out there for anyone that's listening to this. Share this video, share the information for Priestess Returns. Make sure you're there. Make sure you get the all access pass, because then you're really not only absorbing all the information, but then you're making a difference in the world by creating the new paradigm, by helping. For me, I'm a mom of two kids in Sweden, so I can't be on the groundwork, creating the new paradigm and making change in that way. But I can take the money that I make from, my clients and the work that I do, taking a certain percentage like you're doing with the summit, and then put it into the hands of people that are out there being movers and shakers and doing that work. And it makes me, it just fills my cup, and my cup gets over, like it fills over knowing that it's being
Indeed.
channeled in those ways. So how
Yes.
exciting that you're interviewing her as well. What
Yeah.
day is that?
That will air on the first Sunday, so I think it's the 3rd of April. I'm
Okay.
actually interviewing her as we record this on Monday. But
Wow.
I had a conversation with her yesterday, and I was like, the guidance came, the intuitive guidance. You have to interview her. Let her tell everyone about this organization rather than me translating it, because she is a shining light. Wait till you see her. She is a shining light in this world, and it's an honor really to serve in this way.
Wow,
Yeah.
wonderful, Dawn. Wonderful. This is what it's all about, bringing women together, activating, aligning, awakening. I'm so excited. So tell us again the dates of the
Yeah.
Priestess Return Summit.
Yeah. So it's Return of the Priestess, New Earth Rising, and the opening ceremony is April 1st, and the closing ceremony is April 17th, which is Easter this year. And but registration begins on the 18th of March. So we'll have a registration period that ends the day before the summit actually begins to air. And again, there's two live ceremonies, and everything else is recorded for and which you can watch at a set time. You've got 48 hours to watch each as they roll out, and then if you want to purchase, of course, you get the lifetime access.
Okay, great. And where do they go to register for all the listeners?
Well, they would go to your links, so it would be returnofthepriestess.com/Schamet.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I will make sure to attach that to the podcast and to the Zoom or to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and you'll have access to that shortly. Tomorrow, actually, you'll get that information. So,
Okay,
yeah.
great, Dawn. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
Uh, yeah, I just want to say that one of the sayings that I've said for a very long time that is part of uh, my mission in this world is that we are here to lift as we rise. And that actually comes from a well-known woman, academic who had once been a Black Panther in the United States, Angela Davis. I saw her speak many years ago when I was a freshman in college, and I went to what did you call? Now I got the word summit in my head. A whole conference, and she talked about the essential need for women to lift as we rise, rather than climbing over each other to get tenure. In that case, she was talking about academia. And I feel that that is part of the new paradigm, the new earth rising, to lift as we rise. So, Return of the Priestess is how we lift as we rise. And you know that too, Schamet, from doing a summit. What we do is all of the speakers who are featured get exposure to a very wide audience. And so they get to expand their gifts, their offerings to clients and list members who resonate with their work. So it's really about featuring all the other speakers, and it benefits me too, of course, because I get new people in my community. But it's a lift as we rise intention, not just to the whatever the project is we contribute to, but each other, all of us together, and all of the sisters who attend. And I have gotten feedback over the last 2 years of how profoundly this has impacted and empowered women all over the world who've attended. So I'm excited always, even though it is a much work. It's a great deal of work. In the end, I'm always glad I did it. So thank you again so much for having me. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. I love that. I love that. Lift as we rise, and together we rise. And the priestess, the goddess, she has returned and she is rising, and we are rising together. So thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, all the best. We look forward to seeing all of you at the summit, and be well. Many blessings, priestess blessings, and so much love. Mwah.